How do, and welcome back. Well, I'm going to be trying today my English Pale Ale. I brewed this, I think, about the same time as the lager, just as I came back from my holiday in Budapest, and it's been in the fermenter. It was in the fermenter for about 10 days. It's been in the bottle now for about a week. So still a bit young, but I thought I wanted to have a try because I'm using hops in this that I've never used before. For bittering, I'm using Admiral, which is about a 12% alpha acid hop, so it gives a nice bittering. And for flavour and aroma, I'm using Jester. Now, I've never used Jester before, but it's marketed as being like an English variety or an English version of an American West Coast hop. So you're thinking about Amarillo, Cascade, Citra, all of these. So I'm gonna give it a taste and see what it tastes like. That's really stiff. There we go. Oh, good CO2 smoke. You probably can't see it, but it came gushing out, so it's nicely carbonated. Okay, I've got my English pub glass here, and that is nicely carbonated. I have to be a bit gentle here. It's only been a week in the bottle. That's quite impressive, and that's a lovely colour. That really is. You probably can't see, well, I can see on the monitor, that's a lot darker than what it looks in real life. That's a nice light amber, sort of like a coppery, dark copper, light amber colour. It's not like what it looks like on the camera. Hang on a second. Well, I don't know if this will work, but I've seen a lot of people do it. That they put, there you go, put a torch underneath it and try and give you a look of the actual colour of the beer. It's like a dark copper, light amber sort of colour. Really nice, like a proper English pale ale colour. The aroma, sweet malts, really nice sweet malts. I use some dark crystal in this. Dark crystal, some light crystal, and you're really getting that on the nose. Nice sort of like a caramelly flavour with a bit of like a roasty toastiness. But I'm not smelling any hop. Right, let's take a taste. Cheers. Oh, as an English pale ale goes, that's really good. I'm getting quite good at this, aren't I? This brewing lark. That is really nice. It actually reminds me of a beer I can get from my local shop, actually. It's called Rev James, which is I think it's a Welsh beer. Baines Brewery in South Wales. It reminds me of that. It's malt forward. It's got a nice roasty, toasty. It's what I call like a tobacco flavour, because it's rich and it's roasty, and then it goes to this nice settled bitterness. This is using Admiral hops for bittering, and they do say that it's not as harsh. I think it's a cross between North Down and Challenger. And they say it's not a harsh bitterness to it. It's quite pleasant, and it is. This is about from my calculations, about 35 IBU, so there is a nice bitterness there, but it's not astringent, it's not harsh, it just balances that really rich toasty malt. That's like a commercial beer. Actually, it's more like a bitter than a pale ale. And the reason is I can't taste any of that Jester hop. I mean, nothing. Maybe if you dig, you can get a little bit of peach, mango-y, that sort of flavour. Which is surprising, because as this was fermenting, I was taking a taste from the hydrometer tube, and it had a really sharp grapefruit notes. I think I mentioned this a couple of videos ago. I was thinking I'm going to have to, revisit this beer, tone down that Jester hop, because it was just so sharp with grapefruit as it was fermenting. There's nothing left in the beer now. This is actually more like an English bitter. It's as if I haven't put the Jester in. As I say, I am getting some sort of like mango-y flavour, but it's really slight, it's really in the background, and I don't know if that's coming from the yeast, because I also fermented this with Verdant IPA, which does give off some fruity, peachy, mango-y flavours, and I brewed it on the high side. So Verdant IPA has a very narrow temperature range from 18 to 23 degrees, and I brewed this at 22, and I was able to keep it constant at that to try and force some of these esters. So I don't know if what I'm tasting now is actually the esters from the yeast, but as a hop, I don't really rate it myself, to be honest. I brewed a pale ale. The intention is for the book I want to brew an English IPA, but I didn't know what Jester was like, so rather than wasting a lot of money on hops, and Jester can be expensive, or it was when I bought it. Jester is now, the malt miller, it's costing £4.50. They've knocked £3 off. It was £7.50 when I bought it. And it's 15 IBU, so I could have even used it for bittering. But when I bought it, it was an expensive hop, and I'm thinking I don't want to shove all this 100 grams in, or close to that, if I don't like the hop. So I thought I'd just make a pale ale version, and if I like it, I can always up the amount of hops. But well, I can't say I don't like it, because I can't taste it. No, it's more like an English bitter. With a little bit of fruitiness just right in the back, right after the malts. That lovely, rich, toasty, tobacco-y, malty flavour. You get a hint of like a mango, an apricot, that sort of thing. And then you get the pleasant bitterness at the back. And then that lasts. And it's dry. It finishes nice and dry. Hey, I may brew this again and just chuck out the Jester. Just throw it out and see what it tastes like, because that is a really nice quaffable English bitter. 35 IBU. Nice roasty, toasty malts, and pretty much it goes straight from the malts to the bitterness. So it's not really been a failure, has it? Because although it's not the beer I intended it to be, it's actually a really nice English bitter. So I do want to do an IPA though for the book, an English IPA. I'm doing an American Pale Ale, and I wanted to do an English IPA, but I may also add another recipe for an English bitter now that I've got one. But as far as this marketing blurb is concerned about it being an alternative to an American West Coast IPA, Cascade and no, it's not. It's nothing like that at all. In fact, it's nothing. I can't even taste it. So anyway, there you go. And I kept the hops in good condition. They came midweek. I put them in the freezer, and then I literally brewed with them that weekend. So it's not like they've been left open somewhere. I just can't see why I can't taste anything. For the 12 litre batch I brewed, I used 15 grams. So that's the equivalent to about 30 grams for a 23 litre batch. And they were boiled for between 15 and 20 minutes. So that's enough to give it the flavour. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Jester hop I'm not really that impressed with, but I am impressed with this beer. So thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. If you use Jester, what are your thoughts? I'm not that impressed, to be honest. I am with the Admiral though. The Admiral gives a really nice bitterness. Like I say, it's not astringent. It's not biting. It's just a really nice, pleasant bitterness. But the Jester, no, I don't think I'll be using those hops again. But if you've used them, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.